Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful Fibercast. Today's date is April 26th, 2019. My name is Lynn Marquidant, and I'm your host. Happy end of April. Grab your project, and let's see what we can accomplish in the next 60 minutes together. Okay? So this is just a virtual sewing bee, and I have here lots of batik squares of fabric that I am sewing together into 4 patches like these behind me, so that they can be made into Mary's graduation quilt. And I really have a lot of different values and hues or colors. And what I'm going to try to do tonight is try to pick out the blues, all the blues, and then try and get those done. So like I say, grab a project. And as always on Fibercast, if you want to let everyone know what you're working on, please send me an email. Send it to lynn@simplycolorful.com, and I will look at it on my iPad, and then I'll share it back. And again, because we're not doing anything that intricate, I'm not doing the overhead camera tonight. And that's that. Before I get started, I wanted to show you my Miss Kitty. This is a Mimi Kirshner pattern. And she looks on camera, she looks a lot more orange than I thought than she does in real life. But she was really fun to make. You know, she's very simple. And she has a little tail. And she's kind of cute for just a fun little thing that I made this week during my doll workshop, which we had right here. And it was so much fun. I did a lot of other things too, but I wanted to show you her. Anywho, where can we put her? Let's see if she can stay there. I'm sure she'll fall off. Whoops. Okay, she'll take a nap. I call it figurative art. Some people call it dolls. Yes, you can laugh at me, but it's quite fun. And you should have seen what Sarah, Pat, and Sue made. I want to get a darker color here, darker thread. Talk about inspiring. Pat is just amazing. No matter what she touches, it just looks really great. She made a doll or a kitty cat with a patchwork outfit made from old squares that Pat Bleacher had given her, and it was adorable. I'm sure I'm not going to post it. She'll post it on Textile Tarts, or maybe someday when she's here with us, she'll share it. And then Sue was working on an amazing beaded headed doll. I guess technically it was a witch, but it was a colorful, beautiful witch. And then Sarah accomplished and Sue also made a kitty doll. Sarah made a lined jacket and brought all sorts of treasures from the Midwest. So Sarah is the wild thing. She's been out traveling the world for the past 18 months. She's back home in Massachusetts, and she went to a bead show in Phoenix. She took classes on metal, what's it called? When you dip your metal in and the ions cause it to metal plating. So she had lots to show, and it was just a lot of fun. I hope you all have had a good week. So for those of you who are new, welcome. Again, right now, Fibercast is all about us finishing up our projects, because in early May, we're going to start a new mystery quilt. And if you're not familiar with Simply Colorful Mystery Quilts, go to the simplycolorful.com page. Oops. And you can see some most of the past mysteries. There's an ABC quilt that is on the Patreon page only. And, but we'd love to have you join us for the next round of mystery quilts. As I say, we're going to start in May. and it's going to be a fun one. And for those of you, you might wonder what a mystery quilt is. A mystery quilt is it's a fun thing that we do online together. It's free, and it's together we make a quilt through a series of instructions, a piece of which is given each week, and we don't know what the final quilt's going to look like. So that's why it's a mystery. You know, sometimes it works better than others. I'll be very frank. We all have had mystery quilts that whether life has gotten in the way, and we haven't finished them, or maybe we get halfway through and we think we're not liking this, so we put it aside. But other times, it can be very exciting when you do something that is completely different and completely maybe out of something that you would have picked yourself, but then when it's done, you like it. So, and I really can't promise any new techniques. It's just, you know, maybe it'll probably be pre-cut friendly. But beyond that, I can't tell too much right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm literally picking combinations, 2 of each light and dark, and I'm trying to stick with the blues. So let's say we have these 2, and then let's put another couple of these very dark ones. And you'll see when I get to ironing it, actually I should turn this on, that what I'm doing is I put the light on the dark first, and then the dark on the light. And that'll be important when we go to iron it. And on we go. It's been raining like crazy here in New England, and it looks like it's going to rain for a while longer. This is a pretty one. Oh, for those of you who have traveled, I hope you've had a good time. Maggie, all of you out traveling. Flag or chain piecing is the way to go on these. No need to cut them in the middle. That's another one, slightly different. You know what, let's put that with this lighter blue. In fact, I can hear thunder outside. KB, if you're out there, hi. I'll see you soon. I think a big patch of the storm is coming through up from across, the southeast and coming up over Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And I'm hoping by the time I leave tomorrow that the heaviest of it will be gone. Past, so that when I drive from Massachusetts toward Pennsylvania, it shouldn't be bad. Bob said he would keep working on the house both days. Oh, if anyone wants to buy a house in Northbridge, we may have one for sale very soon. And I'm serious about that. Oh, hello. Who's out there? Oh, KB. Hi. She says, I hope so too. Can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you too. And Katie, make sure to tell Katie. I hope we get to connect with her. Let's see. Oh, and Chris and her sister have been down at La Vista. Did you see that? The beautiful pictures. They've been having amazing weather. in St. Martin. So there's some more blue. Let's get this in here. Here, and Becky, if you're out there, I doubt she is. She's so busy. But I saw Becky today, and she dropped off a quilt, which I did this afternoon for her. If anyone needs machine quilting, go to simplycolorful.com, and there are directions there. I am open for business if you have quilts. So anyway, I did hers this afternoon. It was a small, this is really purpley. Ooh, that would be pretty against that. There's some purple in this. It was a small one. I did just the circle meander motif with gray thread, and she had this beautiful blue making for the back, kind of a, probably most like a royal blue, but a modern royal blue. Very pretty. Actually, I might have a picture. Let's see if I took a picture this afternoon. That'd be fun to look at. If my iCloud things are working here. Here we go. Oh, I only have the front. Here's the front of that one that we did today. I don't know if you can see. It has circle meander. That's an easy, fast quilt to make. Okay. So how are we doing here? Okay, that and that. Okay, I think I'm going to iron those together. See what we did last week? We cut a lot of these, which I think we might have enough for a couple of quilts. You can see this, right? And then all we do is iron that one up. Ugh, the batiks do the work for us. That one down, and then that's ready to just sew together. Oh, except I ironed them the wrong way. So you know what? What I mean by that is I want the top one, when I run this through the sewing machine, I want my top seam facing up toward me. That way, when I nest it, the machine pushes it down in nicely and I get a better nest. So I just have to line up all of these blocks such that I iron it that way, and then it works. So always iron toward the dark. Should work. Famous last words, right? Okay, that'll work. And then nice little nest. And the batiks are wonderful because they iron up so crisply. I'll show you what I mean. So on these, I clip the seam so I can pull it and then do our spun seams. Finger press it. Regular press it with our Panasonic. There we have that block. See, the back is, I've twisted the seam. The reason I do that is so that it lies as flat as possible. once we put it onto the quilt. And now we have another block. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So I do toward the dark, and toward the light. Yep, there we go. Oops. Oh, who's there? Hey, Jean. Jean says, hi, Lynn. Happy Friday. I'm in the thick of graduation quilt season and have a question for your viewers. She says, what shows, movies, books on tape, podcasts, etc. do they love to listen to while sewing? She says, I'm not coming out of the studio in the foreseeable future. Oh, that's a great question. So let's help Jean out. She has t-shirt quilts that she is finishing for graduation. She usually does in the 10s, 20s of them. So she is in her studio. What can we suggest that she listen to? Send suggestions. Either put them on the YouTube feed or on Facebook, or send them to me at lynn@simplycolorful.com. I'll go first. And I think you've heard me talk about it before. I was just listening to it before the show. For Crying Out Loud is a funny podcast with Stephanie Wilder Taylor and Lynette Carolla. So I haven't veered from that in years. They are parents. So it's two mothers that started this podcast back when their kids were young. Now their kids are in middle school / one of them's a teenager. And they're quite funny, and so they're funny. So let me have it. lynn@simplycolorful.com. What do you listen to in the studio? I saw Tim Natar was down on the quilting show. That was quite impressive. Yeah, that's right. With Alex Anderson and I forget the other guy's name. That's why this is just a virtual bee, folks. Any books? Oh, how about movies? There's so many. Oh, you know what I started watching on Netflix was Ozark. I'm in the 3rd season, and third episode, so it's brand new. It's quite funny, actually, for a show that does have some violence and some adult language. It's kind of funny. Okay, so for Jean, let me have it. Let me go see email. Okay, hey guys. Oh my goodness. This one's rising to the top. Patricia says, Dear Jane is done. Sue and I are picking ourselves up off the floor. Pat, you are amazing. Let's see. Okay. She says, I missed your program last week. That's okay, Pat. She says, just thought I'd let you know I put the last quilting stitch in Dear Jane on April 12th. She says, I'm attaching a couple of pictures, piecing 200 4-inch quarter square triangle blocks tonight. Happy quilting. Are you kidding me? Look at this. So this is one of her corners. Look at that. She signed it and dated it. 2004 to 2018. To 2019. Yay. Pat, You inspire us. See that? Sue, you and I can do this. Oh, thank you for sending that in. Oh, and Anne says, hi, Aunt Lynn and all the Fibercasters. Have enjoyed very much watching your show on a Saturday. She says, I rarely manage to stay awake to watch live. Your explanations of the French quilts is fascinating. You are very restrained to not purchase even a fat quarter whilst on your trip to Paris. She says, I've been trying to get my head around the murder mystery quilt I'm doing. Ooh, and managed to reverse some pieces. So I'm packing up for tonight and we'll look again tomorrow. Ah, that's very smart. She says, I'm also in a postcard swap and I've got 3 waiting to be finished. I have 3 waiting to be finished. My next project is still in the planning stages, a wall hanging swap, which is fun to do. I have my ideas and now I need to get it together so I'm ready for your next mystery. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. Anne says she hopes everyone has a fabulous and productive weekend. She says I should be able to get lots of sewing done as the forecast is for storms and it's been raining intermittently all day today. Love and quilty hugs from Anne. Oh, Anne. Hey, check this out. So on the top and the bottom, the top looks like mountains. The bottom is houses. That's so funny you did that because I was thinking I wanted to make some more funky houses. What else have you got going on here? Oh, I'm so glad you're out there. Have a great weekend. Stay dry. Carol. Hi, Carol. She says she titles this Still Wrestling. So I bet it's that quilt that she's been quilting with very tightly, but it's going to be beautiful. She says, hi, Lynn and Fibercasters. I hope you have all had a good week. I'm still wrestling my stars quilt. I think I only have 3 more of the light stars to do. She says, I hope to have it finished to be able to start the mystery quilt with you. Wonderful. I'm so looking forward to doing some piecing. I've been working exclusively on the stars quilt for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Yours, Carol, in Yorkshire, England. Look at that. See how she's doing the echoing? Hopefully you can see that. The echoing really makes that a lovely quilt. Have a great week, Carol. And I think I just saw a note from Jean. Oh, the murder mystery quilt. That does sound fun, Jean. So on that murder mystery quilt, I wonder where we can learn more about that. So Carol, if you're still up. Nope. Anne, if you're still up. Murder mystery quilt I'm doing. Let us know about that. That sounds fun. Hey, Leah. Leah has been working on the last mystery. She says, hi, Lynn, happy Friday. She says, I like the new camera angle. Oh, good. Good. I'm switching it up. I had to take down all of the lights and all the cameras, and I cleaned the studio for the workshop this week. And so I just put them back up just before Fibercast, and I thought I'd mix it up a little. So that's good. Yay. She says, I'm still making letters for the mystery quilt. Oh, I hope you're not cursing us too much. It's going to be worth it. Oh, look at you. So this is the start of the alphabet quilt. If anyone wants to make that, it's on Patreon, on the Simply Colorful Patreon page. And Leah has done some amazing applique of the 4 flowers. So check that out in the Simply Colorful Mystery Quilt Along group. That is cool. Oh, I'm so glad you're out there. I know spring is coming and everyone is going to get busy and we're all going to be going hither and yon. But just know I'll be here on Fridays. I'm doing it all through the summer and through the fall. And so that didn't. So Anne, back to Anne's question. What do we like to listen to and watch? Again, binge watching, all those things. Ozarks. I'm sure you're caught up on House of Cards. And last night we were looking for two new movies, The Wife and The Favorites, but they were both for pay, so we didn't pay for it. But those looked good down the line in the future. Watched a Netflix documentary or show 2 nights ago on creativity. Quite frankly, I wasn't all that impressed. I don't know. It was a long show. It was kind of like, so what for me? I wasn't quite sure who the audience for it was. Was it someone who wanted to be more creative? Was it someone who wanted to understand what creativity was? The table I have my machine on, one side of it folds down, so there are 2 legs that come out and keep it up. And this one must be a little lower than the other one because it keeps swinging over. So if you see, it won't. But that's what I keep fixing down underneath here so that my machine doesn't fall off. Oh, I'm so glad you're out there. Diane and Sue and Sherry. KB, I'm bringing my new machine. Tomorrow morning, I'll put it in its new carrying case. Let's see how that works. If anyone has a Joann's around you, Kona cotton is on sale for $5 a yard. But I have to tell you, at least in our local Joann's one, they didn't have a ton of selection. Although I think they had some Kona white and black. I wanted a chartreuse, and they didn't have that. So believe it or not, I bought a symphony broadcloth in chartreuse. I know, I can hear you guys gasping from there. Can you believe it? It was the right color, and so I'm going to put that into a quilt. Polyester. I think it's only 30% polyester. The other 70 is cotton, I think. Oh. And half the things I'm using came from my stash. I have another random tidbit for anyone who might be a doll maker or want to be a doll maker. I think I've shown you the Hitty dolls in past fiber casts. Those are the very small kind of pocket dolls, and they're based on the Hitty's 100 years. Hitty's first 100 years. It's a book that was written a long time ago about this doll, Hitty, the wooden doll, and her adventures. And so anyway, Gail Wilson makes kits, and we've made them on this show in the past. And I pulled out one of my older kits to make Hitty's a bonnet, a sun bonnet, and then a hat, a little hat holder, and then a hat box. So pretty detailed, 3 little things I needed to make. And I discovered that I had opened up this pattern years ago, and somehow I had lost the templates, 23 different templates, the round circles of the hat box, the sides of the bonnet, the hat holder, other circles, all sorts of different templates that I needed. And I thought, there's no way, if I go back and contact Gail Wilson, the likelihood that she would be able to supply that would be low. Well, sure enough, this morning, I went to the Gail Wilson website. They said these things do happen. Maybe your paints dry up or you lose your templates. I'm like, For $1.50, they would make a copy of a piece of paper, the template. So I wrote a quick little email. Within 20 minutes, I had the PDF file of the templates that I was missing for this particular kit. No charge, no nothing, just Make sure this prints out the right size. I was delighted. Delighted. So if anyone wants to make a Hitty doll, I definitely recommend GailWilsonDesigns.com. I would use, in a polite way, the term fastidious to her doll kits. Everything is incredibly thoroughly documented, and the materials are always top quality. And you can't beat that kind of service. Again, I bought this kit 2012 maybe. So that was fun. So I'm just turning the seams and I'll iron them. How about books? I'm listening to books on tape, certainly. Jean, if you haven't, I'm interested to hear if you like David Sedaris. He's a humorist, and he has lots of books out. I think maybe you had already read them or tried them when we talked about it at our quilt retreat. And I wish I had my whiteboard downstairs. We were writing out books. I just got off the waiting list for Julian Fellowes' book called Snobs. And it's supposed to be funny, and it's about the upstairs, downstairs life. I don't know. Actually, Anne and Carol, and those of you over in the UK, maybe you have some thoughts on that book. I don't even know. It must be fiction. My aunt told me about it, and she said she was finding it humorous. So there we go. We're getting more blues. This is what I wanted. This quilt is going to have navy blue minky on the back. So it will be a delight. Ooh, look at these. I already did these. Let's keep going. What else? I definitely am becoming a fan of Netflix, more so than just Xfinity on demand. I've not tried Prime, Amazon Prime Media yet, but what is it? The Adventures of Miss Marvel? Maybe what's that one? That's supposed to be good. Hey! Watching, Carol says, hi, Lynn, I always watch something I have already seen so I can get away with only part watching. Oh, that's a great tip. So, Jean, don't be afraid to watch things again. That's a great tip. She says, earlier I watched all the early seasons of Game of Thrones, ready for the start of the last season. And she says, usually I just look through the box sets on Netflix. Yours, Carol. Exactly, Carol. That's so funny. Me too. That's what I've been doing on Netflix. And Game of Thrones, I've not watched yet. So I'm curious, who else is watching it? It's a fantasy, right? With a little bit of gore, but that's on my list. Now that I have some more time, I can do it. I can put it on here in the studio and I can make it happen. Thank you, Carol. Aw. You know, someday let's all meet together in person. Like Sandra. I bet Sandra's out there. It would be so fun to meet up. Sue and, of course, Becca and Gail and Patty in Texas and Diane and Kathy and Kathleen and Eileen. The list goes on. Maggie, Annie, who I didn't see the whole thread, but I think I saw that Annie doesn't cook. You're my hero, Annie. You would have been so proud. We had meals. So I went to Stop and Shop the morning that the strike ended. So when was that? Monday morning? And they had a spiral ham on sale. They didn't have much in the produce department yet. But anyway, we had ham one night. We had like a quiche one night. We had a lamb stew one night. We had chili. We had this pizza that didn't have tomatoes. Okay, so I have a new favorite pizza. Take a boboli crust and put some garlic onion jam from Stonewall Kitchens, or any sort of chutney or jam that you like, right? So it's sweet and savory at the same time. Then crumble on blue cheese. You could also use gorgonzola, I bet would be just as good. And then put it in the oven just to get the whole thing heated up. Sweet and salty and bready. That was phenomenal. So anyway, how did we get on that? Oh, so Annie, who is our overachiever out in the Midwest and is doing, she's probably done a couple of Dear Janes since Sue, Pat, and I even began our adventure, right? But it sounds like one of her secrets to success is she doesn't spend a lot of time cooking, which is smart. Or it's an approach. I'm not saying we all take that approach. This is a pretty one. So 4-patch after 4-patch, we get her done. T-shirt quilts are a wonderful graduation present. Jean, I don't know if you're taking more orders, but if you are, we should post something on the site so people know how to get in touch with you. I suspect you are booked beyond summer, but just in case. Jean's work is amazing. And Blueberry Lane Studio, Kelsey Ullman is amazing too. The beauty of these big squares is it does go pretty fast. So this is good. So what's everyone doing this weekend? Oh, we didn't even talk about Easter. I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Hopefully the skies parted. Wendy and Allie down under, I hope that as you're going into fall and winter, I hope you're enjoying some nice days. So since we started this, so we're in our 6th season, meaning our 6th year of doing fibercasts. So we've all changed some, we've grown. Different life events have either we've made happen or they've happened to us and we've gotten through them. But I'm curious. Now, 6 years ago, would I have lost my train of thought like that? I doubt it. I had a really good thought, but I forgot it. So it couldn't have been that good. Maybe it was just, I know what it was. It was just all about the power of just dedicating a few minutes a day to anything, how it really does make a difference. Whether it's 20 minutes walking, or an hour walking, or an hour running, or half an hour cleaning. It's amazing what you can get done in 30 minutes cleaning. I kid you not. If you just say, okay, for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to do this. I'm shocked at how much I can get done. And for Fibercast, it is really amazing what you can get done in 60 minutes. So challenge everyone to really commit to, maybe it doesn't have to be during Fibercast, but at some time during the week, set things up. Know that you're going to spend 60 minutes on an art project or a quilt or a gift or anything. And it's just amazing. You know, in this world of, I dare say, in the last 6 years, the advent of technology and the real-time nature of it, I know I check my things more often, more frequently, and I read littler and smaller snippets. My vocabulary, I'm sure, has declined. but to really spend 60 minutes or 30 minutes deep in one thing is good on so many levels, in terms of accomplishment, in terms of the meditative quality, getting in the flow, the zone, reducing anxiety. Becoming more fit. Carol, if you are out there, Carol, my sister-in-law, not Carol over across the sea. Carol has been using her Fitbit since, I learned this at Easter, since 2013. And she's been tracking. Do you know she and her husband went to Washington, D.C. last week for over spring vacation, and she logged 30,000 steps in one day. That's amazing. That if a mile is, let's say, on the aggressive side, if it's 2,000 steps, that's 15 miles walking in one day. Even if it's 3,000 steps to a mile, that's still 10 miles. Two more, and then we'll iron them up. Then we'll put them behind us. So the last mystery quilt we did applique, and we had the option of doing either machine applique or hand applique, and we had the option of doing paper piecing in lieu of some of the applique. So the question is, on our next mystery quilt, what will we focus on? And will there be a murder involved? Maybe we should write a little murder mystery to go with it. That would definitely not be in my wheelhouse. That did just make me think of something, though. A scavenger hunt might be fun. I wonder if there's such a thing as a virtual scavenger hunt. Who's been watching Jeopardy? That James is amazing. He is, for anyone who might not know Jeopardy, I think it airs in other countries, but I don't know for sure. Alex Trebek is the host, and it's on at 7:30 every night here. And there is a new winner in town. James, is it Holmhoser? He's supposedly a professional gambler or poker player in Vegas. And he's, like I read something, all the strategy, so he's deploying a few different unique strategies that I'll tell you in a minute. And the point was, that's all well and good, but you have to have the goods, both the fast clicker hand, and you have to know a lot about a lot of different things, a lot of trivia and knowledge about a lot of different subjects. And this man has it. So now you can think, I think it's fascinating and fun to watch him. He's won over $1 million so far. And he is just, I love to watch someone so smart who knows the answers. But, you know, the commentary is that really fair to the other contestants? And I can see their point. Dumb luck if you get put up against him. And it does stink for them. But you know what? What's that whole thing? Life is not fair. But so, and it is, so some people say it's not fun to watch him. I love to watch him run the board. So his technique, for anyone who's not been watching it, he starts at the bottom of the categories on the highest priced questions, and then works his way up to the lower priced questions. And he's always in search of the daily double. And then when he gets the daily double, he definitely bets big, but he can back it up because he knows a lot of the answers. So he definitely is a smart player. So that's been fun. I don't know how I thought about Jeopardy after talking about what we can do in 60 minutes. But, oh, I'm sorry if that is, I bet my ironing is moving the camera. That's not good. Right now the camera is on the end of this ironing table, so I'll go gentle. And I'll iron this. Now we have 2 more blocks to put up. And then I'll check our email. I'm going to get overloaded in this stuff. But that's okay. I want more of the blues to go together. Hey. Hi, Jean. Virtual scavenger hunt is a genius idea. Great way for you to connect with quilt vendors, I think. Jean says, I did something like it a long time ago. You would go to a certain site. Let me see this. I need to figure, well, I need to set this up so I don't use a password anymore. Jean says, in terms of scavenger hunt, she said, I did something like it a long time ago. You would go to a certain site each week and click through all their pages to find the mystery icon. The site had deals, and I'm sure the organizer had giveaways. Oh, how fun. Would be fun to do with mass quilt shops, a virtual shop hop scavenger hunt. That sounds fun. Imagine, and we could even combine it with an in-person like final stop. Ooh, love it. I'll give that more thinking. What were we thinking about last time that was a good idea? The end of the day, I am a machine quilter, a long arm machine quilter. So that's where I have to spend the majority of my time. But I also love to do these mystery quilts. And I love to sew. I love to iron. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Put that right there. That all has a lot of the yellows. Okay, let me iron this, then I'll make sure. So anyone who's out there, I'm going to check my email one more time. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you're out there. Another one. Ooh, this is a brown one. That would be interesting. That. That. Hoping it looks a little bohemian. It's all the rage. Okay. Oh, that's a pretty one. Have I been showing you these up close? I must admit, the batiks are gorgeous. This blue batik, I got at the Missouri Star Company when I went out there in January. $3 a yard. So here we go. So, ooh, that one might be one of those that doesn't fit. But then again, I like them when they're a little different like that. Okay, let's see who's out there. Let's see who's out there. Becca and Dave, if you're out there, hi. Okay. Hey, Allie. Allie down under, hi. She says, I watch recorded shows while sewing during the week. Oh, this is good. So Jean, here from Allie. She says she watches recorded shows during the week. She catches up on YouTube, including Simply Colorful, on Saturdays. She says good binge-worthy shows are House of Cards, The Good Fight, Designated Survivor, The Good Place, Alias Grace. So there are 5. She says, I haven't finished The Good Fortune Mystery yet, but I will when I get motivated, she says. I also have the Moda Blockheads Footy Quilt to finish. Then I can start this year's one. Yay. She says, have a great weekend, Fibercasters, Allison. You too, Allison. Thank you for writing. And again, I want to read those shows out that are binge-worthy. She says, House of Cards, The Good Fight, Designated Survivor, The Good Place, and Alias Grace. Thanks, Allison. Hey, who's out there? I see a phone number. I bet this is Deb. Is this Deb? Yep, I'm here. Would love to meet up with y'all. What fun. Oh, no, it's Sandra. Hello. Wouldn't that be great? We will work on that. Oh, and here's this. Okay, Allison wrote again. She says, GOT series, Game of Thrones. She says, I watched Game of Thrones when it first came out many years ago, and I didn't like it. Okay, I think I did the same thing, and I think I abandoned it. She said, I started to watch it again a few years ago and was hooked. Strange how the same show, watched at different times in one's life, can appear so different. I love that sentiment. I think that's a great thing to leave us on, is the same. That can apply to so many things. Whether it's a color or a taste, or maybe not a person, I don't know. But a show 5 years ago didn't float our boat, but 2 years ago, yeah, it was good. So anyway, I guess the lesson there is give things a try them again. I didn't used to like peas, now I love them. So try something maybe that you thought you didn't like. How about that? and see what we think. Jean, good luck with your quilts in your basement. Allie, have fun with your mysteries. Everyone out there, thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend and a great week. I'm so glad that you're doing what you love to do, and I'll see you here next Friday night on the Simply Colorful Fibercast. Thanks for being here, everyone. Bye.